Hello everybody, Jean back with more Mars anomalies, returning to the terrain here InSight lander, where our speculator may have found ancient canal construction and ruins east of InSight lander. The photograph we're analyzing is called Disrupted Blocky Outcrop in Cerberus Palus, and I'll include the link to this page below. Acquired on the 8th of April 2009 at 25 centimeters per pixel resolution, and I'm showing you images in this video cropped from the JP2 black and white map projected file, as well as the merged RGB color strip. This is a crop from the low-res JPEG, and we'll be checking out some of the anomalies in this region, as well as ancient canals possibly, and there's one that looks as if it was still under construction when this part of the surface was totally devastated. So you can see some geometry and symmetry in this pattern. Looks rather like this could have been surrounded by water, and these were like little islands perhaps. Some of the anomalies were discovered on top of these flat plains and not in the gullies, so that's rather strange. The RGB color, there's a crop from the low-res JPEG. We'll be checking out this section over here. That looks rather natural, and it looks almost as if it was joined up with this side over here. So located 7.49 degrees north, 148.71 degrees east in this terrain over here. You can see very smooth flat terrain, and then here in the middle of nowhere we've got this clump of objects, and over there as well. We can have a look at that towards the end of the video, and also what looks like rather ancient structures and things in the vicinity. Look like potential pyramids, eroded pyramids, and so on. So just for reference, we're going to be checking out two blocks in Baalbek, Lebanon. Just for reference once again, this one over here is 20.7 meters long, 5.3 meters wide, and 4.3 meters high. So rather huge block over there. And then the second Roman monolith, 20.5 meters long, 4.5 meters wide, and 4.5 meters high. And many of the blocks we've had a look at in previous videos, as well as in this one, measure almost the same size or larger. And there's that area that I want to show you. So this is at 1:1 scale. This trench is almost 50 meters long. It's got straight edges to it and right angles. Very unusual. If you look at the other canals in this part of the photograph, none of them have got this geometry to it. So was that an attempt to link up to that side there? And let's see, it's about 20 meters wide. Very, very strange. And check the edge over here. Very straight, 90 degrees, as if it was busy bulldozing this area perhaps, and it came up to the inclination at the top here, suddenly ended. Okay, we're going to look at these blocks over here. Also, these are rather huge, partially covered in sand as well. Looks as if this might have been part of a wall, and these blocks have got straight edges to them, flat sides. Check out the triangle on this side over here. Rather odd. And then this, what looks like some type of wreckage maybe, measuring about 20 meters long. And it looks as if there's multiple pieces of different types of material together over here in this object. And this white piece got right angles to it, very straight edges, and also rectangular parts to the top right. And then this little opening over here, this looks almost as if it's some type of metal debris or wreckage. Very unusual as well. And then these little structures over here, measuring about 15 by 15 meters each. And we're looking at those blocks over here first, partially buried in sand. This one here has got a rounded part to it, and then looks as if there's smaller square blocks to the bottom. Could that have been some type of round base on which these blocks stood, like in Greece with the ruins there? And then we're looking at these, almost the same size, consisting of multiple smaller blocks. Also very unusual in this terrain. Nothing else like it clumped together like that. We're looking at these two anomalies. One looks like it's a block in the shape of a pyramid, and this one over here, we'll take a close-up look as well. This one measures about 10 by 10 meters. You can see multiple triangular sides to it, relatively straight edges and smooth surfaces. And then this rather strange object over here, which measures about 15 meters by 8 meters. It's rectangular in shape. Got what looks like an oval hole on the one side here, and then a protrusion or knob in the center to the left side over there. More looked like pretty straight, unnatural edges. As I say, I'm only speculating that these could have been constructed in the distant past. We're looking at this rectangular block here, measuring about 15 by 10 meters. Got smooth, flat surfaces, then this rounded arc on the one side. That's the perfect arc. And then on the side over here we've got, it looks like a circular carved out region with a little hole right there in the center as well. And multiple blocks stacked next to one another. We're looking at these here, measuring about 5 meters long. Check that out. We've got an L shape here, a larger piece there that seems to fit into this opening, the smaller block to the one side. It looks as if these blocks shifted apart. And then we're looking at what looked like walls over here, this one over here, very straight edge to it. The one side looks a little rough, whereas this other side's very smooth and flat. And then another row going down that way there. It's very much like a ruin perhaps. So let's check these out. This is about 10 meters across. Possibly this was one monolith, and slightly eroded on the top. Very smooth, bright surface though, and then quite eroded towards the top Looks like a toppled wall perhaps, or a toppled block. Check out the right angles in this piece. And then we've got what looks like a rounded terrace over here. In this section of the photograph, and then smaller blocks to the one side. These are also about 5 by 8 meters. Together they are stacked next to one another. We've got right angles, straight edges as well. Looks like another L-shaped block over there. And then underneath the sand over here, this looks like it could be like a square or rectangular structure. Some of the blocks starting to move away. And these two as well. Now let's check out this one. Also another straight piece running through there with smaller blocks on either side. These blocks are also about 5 by 8 meters or so. Check at the straight edges to these. It looks as if got larger rectangular blocks surrounded by these square blocks. Check at this, it looks almost like an arch. And then this one over here, we've got more blocks stacked next to one another. We've got a larger one over here. And then that area there seems to be hollowed out. The larger block is about 12 by 10 meters. Very bright material. And then you've got smaller megaliths or monoliths over there. They've stacked next to one another. This one's fallen over slightly. And in this part, at 90 degrees to that, it looks like a wall. Got this hollowed out region as well. Constant depth and width. And then find lots of these again. These long, narrow, rectangular blocks. That one's about 12 meters long by about 6 meters wide. More blocks next to one another there. And then this strange object, which is about 15 to 20 meters long, which looks almost as if it's got a triangular side to it. Almost like a partial hexagon shape again. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4 sides to it. And then this part here, which seems to be carved out, leaving this smaller, looks like a little pyramid on this one side there. And then more blocks or slabs next to one another, equal width. And these are about, I'd say, 10 meters across. And the middle one is about 3 meters wide. And on either side, we've got 2 blocks almost the same thickness. Then this rather strange object there, and another block down here. Now check out this one. This is about 20 meters long by about 10 meters wide. And again, we've got a protrusion right there in the center of this one. Very similar to one of the previous ones I showed you. And it's got a split down the middle. Maybe 2 blocks moved apart slightly. Or maybe this is one piece with a slot carved into it. 2 equal sides. It's very unnatural as well. More blocks over here. And this is what makes these anomalies so strange. They're on top of the planes or flat surfaces of these outcrops or islands, and then in the gullies or canals, there's hardly anything. You'd expect these to have rolled off if they were part of a natural geology, and then line these canals, but these are all on top. And that makes me speculate these were structures on top of these flat surfaces, and then the devastation in this area moved these blocks apart. Look at this one over here with the hole there. Very round hole as well, doesn't look random at all. So let's check out some of the blocks. These measure about 15 by 10 meters, smooth flat surfaces, straight edges and right angles as well. Check out these blocks as well, specifically this one, which measures about 12 by 10 meters, and again straight edges and some geometry to this design. So it looks as if this side has been hollowed out slightly in a circular pattern. Another one of these blocks over here and down here. This one measures about 12 meters by 6 meters. Also smooth, flat surfaces with straight edges and right angles to it. And this huge block over here, this one's about 15 by 15 meters. It's got this very straight edge running through there. And then this over here looks very eroded, possibly even carved out. And then there seems to be a little hole over here. And then this part rounded out, the dome-like feature or protrusion there. And then in this section also slightly hollowed out, got that sort of oval-shaped protrusion on that side. And then it's slightly elevated off the surface on this one side here. And then what looks like an opening to the bottom left in that section. Check at that block. This one measures about 10 by 8 meters. Got straight edges to it, and the sides are very eroded. But right there in the center again we've got a knob or a protrusion. So let's take a look at the terrain in Google Earth Mars. And we go down to InSight Lander and Curiosity Rover. Just for reference, the area we're looking at is there. InSight Lander's about 700 kilometers to the west. And then down there we've got Curiosity in Gale Crater. And let's check out the anomalies. Got that rectangular trench. Looks like some type of wreckage perhaps, and then megalithic structures and ruins. A wall over there maybe. So let's switch on the C2X mosaic. You can have a look at that area there to the right as well. The two are very, very similar. It looks almost as if these were cities or towns. Check at the landscape, very smooth, flat. Looks almost like some type of monument. Pyramid over here. I've covered this region in one of my previous videos. We looked at the CTX. Check at that. And then this one up here. And there we found what looks like a partial pyramid. Really weird anomalies as well. There's a cube. Can't see it nicely here, but it's got 3 rows. Each one's got 3 smaller blocks in it in the shape of that cube. Next, I'll check out that photograph maybe. So as I say, maybe, who knows, these are 2 very ancient cities. Let me know in the comments below what you guys make of these anomalies. Do you think this is just coincidence? Once again, thanks for watching. I do appreciate your support. I'll be back with more Mars anomalies, and I'll see you then. Bye bye for now.